The town of Havenwood was painfully ordinary. Houses lined up like neat white teeth. Each lawn was a perfect green square. Ilara felt ordinary too. She worked at the old bookstore on Main Street. Dust motes danced in the afternoon light there. She sorted books. She dreamed of being different. She longed for a beauty that turned heads, a beauty that whispered power. She felt unseen, invisible in her simple life. Ilara often stared at magazine covers, women with flawless skin, perfect smiles, eyes that held secrets. She wanted that. She craved that allure. Her own reflection felt plain, unremarkable, just Ilara. She would sigh. She would wish for a change, any change. She spent hours online looking at beauty tips, following influencers. Their lives seemed so bright, so full of admiration. She wanted that glow. One rainy Tuesday she found it, tucked away in the attic of her grandmother's house. It was an old mirror. The frame was dark, carved wood, intricate designs twisted like sleeping snakes. The glass was surprisingly clear. It seemed to hum with a strange energy, not like other mirrors. This one felt alive. It called to her, a silent invitation. She felt a pull she could not ignore. A strange excitement bloomed within her. She took it home. She cleaned the dust from its surface. She placed it on her bedroom dresser. It dominated the small room. It felt important. That night, the air in her room grew colder. She thought she heard a whisper, so soft, almost like the rustle of silk or a sigh. She told herself it was just the old house settling, but a part of her knew. This mirror was special. This mirror held a secret, a promise. Ilara started her new ritual. Each morning, each night, she would stand before the mirror. She would gaze into its depths. She wished for brighter eyes. The next day, her eyes seemed to sparkle a little more. She wished for clearer skin. Slowly, blemishes began to fade. It was subtle at first, so subtle she thought she imagined it. But the changes were real. The mirror seemed to listen. It seemed to grant her desires. Her confidence grew. She started wearing brighter clothes. She styled her hair differently. People at work noticed. "Ilara, you look different," they would say. "You look wonderful." She smiled. She loved the compliments. The attention was intoxicating. Her old insecurities started to melt away, replaced by a newfound pride. The mirror was her secret, her powerful friend. She felt a bond with the cold glass. It understood her deepest wishes. She spent more and more time with the mirror. Hours would pass. The world outside her bedroom faded. Friends called. She made excuses. Family dinners were missed. Her focus narrowed. Only the reflection mattered. The image staring back at her was becoming perfect. The woman in the mirror was stunning. Exactly who Ilara always wanted to be. She felt a thrill, a sense of power she had never known before. The reflection started to change faster, more dramatically. Her cheekbones became more defined, her lips fuller. Her hair cascaded in perfect waves. It was almost too perfect. Sometimes when she looked quickly, she thought the reflection smiled before she did. Or its eyes held a different emotion, a flicker of something knowing, something ancient. She dismissed these thoughts. It was just the light, it had to be. The beauty the mirror gave her was breathtaking, but it was also unsettling. Her skin was flawless, but it looked like porcelain, too smooth, too still. Her eyes were bright, but sometimes they seemed empty, almost cold. Friends who once complimented her now looked at her with unease. Their smiles didn't quite reach their eyes. "You've changed, Ilara," one friend whispered. There was a hint of fear in her voice. Ilara ignored it. Whispers started to follow her, not just from the mirror anymore. She would hear them in empty rooms, soft, sibilant, calling her name. Shadows in the corner of her eyes seemed to lengthen, to twist into unfamiliar shapes. The air in her house was always cold now, even in the summer heat. Sleep became difficult. When she did sleep, her dreams were filled with the mirror, with a beautiful smiling face that wasn't quite her own. It beckoned her closer. One evening, as she gazed into the mirror, the reflection blinked. Ilara hadn't. Her heart pounded. She stared. The reflection stared back, unblinking, perfect, beautiful, and terrifying. For the first time, a genuine fear pierced through her obsession. What was happening? What was this mirror doing to her? She wanted to stop, to throw the mirror away, but she couldn't. The thought of losing this beauty, this perfection, it was unbearable. The mirror's pull was too strong. The beauty it offered was a drug. She needed it. She craved it. Even as the wrongness grew, even as the whispers became clearer, promising more, demanding more, she felt trapped, caught between her desire and a growing, chilling dread. The reflection seemed more alive than she did. It watched her with an intelligence that was not hers. It was waiting, patiently, for something. The night of the full moon arrived. The whispers were deafening. The room was ice cold. Ilara stood before the mirror. Her reflection was radiant, ethereal. But it was not her, not anymore. The eyes that stared back were ancient and hungry. The reflection smiled slowly, a wide, predatory smile. "You wanted beauty," it hissed. Its voice was like shattering glass. "And I have given it," Ilara tried to scream. No sound came out. The reflection reached out, its hand passed through the glass. Cold fingers touched Ilara's cheek. Ilara felt her warmth drain away, her energy, her life. The reflection grew more solid, more vibrant, while Ilara herself began to fade, to become translucent like a forgotten photograph. The entity in the mirror was taking her place. It had fed on her desire, her vanity, her very essence. It was now complete, beautiful, and monstrous. Ilara watched in horror, trapped behind the glass. Now she was the reflection, a faint image in the world she once knew. The creature stepped out of the mirror. It wore Ilara's stolen beauty. It moved with Ilara's grace. It smiled Ilara's smile. But its eyes held the cold, ancient darkness of the mirror. It turned. It looked at Ilara's faint image trapped within the glass. "Thank you," it whispered. Then it walked out of the room, out into the world. She was left alone, a ghost in the glass, a prisoner of her own desires. The beautiful monster now lived her life. No one would ever know. The mirror remained cold, silent, waiting for its next victim. Ilara could only watch, powerless, a silent testament to a terrible truth. How much of oneself is too high a price for the illusion of perfection? What is the true cost of beauty when it demands your very soul?